Hello and welcome to my next video, which also happens to be my 30th video, which is quite mad. When I started doing this, I thought I'd maybe just do 6 videos just as a hobby, just to see what it's like. I didn't think that I'd still be going at 30, but here we are and plan to do a lot more. Speaking of planning, this video was not planned. This video was supposed to be wrapping the front bumper, which you can see isn't wrapped. But I do have the number plate off because I've started cleaning this, as you will see in the next video, which will be on the wrapping. But what this video is about is dealing with engine diagnostic issues. So I'll clip now to what I'd previously filmed for the wrapping video, where I thought I will just squeeze this little bit in the wrapping video because it'd be a quick job. Here you go. Unfortunately, we have had some lights come on the dash, and those lights are these. Those ABS and traction control lights are unfortunately familiar to the channel. We have addressed this problem before, which was changing the ABS rings on the rear drive shafts. Why it's come back now, I do not know, and I cannot get ISTA to work to read a code. So I've ordered a new diagnostic machine, which will be here shortly. So yes, that happened, and I can't read the ABS module with the diagnostic machines that I've already got, except for ISTA, but I can't get that to connect, as I said. So I've gone and I've purchased a new one, and what I purchased is this, the Foxwell NT530 diagnostic reader, which specializes in Bmw Rolls-Royce and Mini. So I'm hoping that this can read the ABS computer and tell me what the ABS code that is causing the light to show on the dashboard. And I'm also getting the odd code come up for the valvetronic system, and I'm hoping that, going back to a previous video, link in the top right, that when we broke down in the blueberry field and subsequently managed to get the car home, but realised that where I'd previously replaced the valvetronic motor prior to my YouTube career, I bought a cheap one, so I replaced it with a more expensive one, but I'd never got to reset the valvetronic adaptation, which means the valvetronic goes in and out, and the computer needs to know where its maximum movement is and its minimum movement is. So the learn process just winds it out to the maximum, tells the computer, yeah, that's my maximum, and then does the opposite. But I hadn't done that, and I think that's why the light's coming on sometimes, or at least I hope it is. Let's get in the car and see how this machine works, and I will tell you at the end of the video how much it cost. Let's open it up and see if it can read that ABS code. Hopefully also learn the valvetronic motor. I will just add, I paid full price for this. It's not sponsored in any way, shape or form. Right, we're plugged in. Here we go. Let's get the ignition on. Then we will go into the ABD auto scan. Here we go. This is trouble codes. This is a code that just never seems to clear, so I'm not worried about that one. How do I get to the ABS module? Okay, BMW. How did I miss that? So what I'd just gone into was just generic, wasn't it? Smart VIN. Please input number manually. Oh man. No, it's there, isn't it? That's it. Okay. Yes, it's a good start. It's reading the car. Very good start. Just running through all of the control modules now, checking that there's communication. I assume I'm just fast forwarding through this bit because this is taking ages and you don't want to sit here and watch the computer go through this very slow process. Diagnosis. Quick scan. It could take a while. A fault in the engine ECU. That's probably that P101 that's always there. 5 faults it said there in the ABS, didn't that? There's a lot of faults going on, but this just could be because they haven't been cleared for a long time. Let's go to the DSC Dynamic Stability Control module. Let's see what we've got. Read codes. Front right. Ah, interesting. Okay, that's quite good news in a way, because I spoke just now about the work that we did in a previous video with the wheel speed sensor rings around the drive shaft, then they were in the rear. So the code is telling me that it's the front right. So that's new, which is quite nice that I haven't messed something up that I've done previously, because there's nothing worse than having to repeat the same job over and over, which there have been a few jobs like that on this car, particularly the oil leaks. So that's what I need to get, I reckon, a front right wheel speed sensor. We'll get that fitted and hope that cures the problem. But in the meantime, I can just erase the codes. So that's cool, happy with that. Let's just go in the other computers now and see what codes are there. See, valvetronic adaptation in the engine ECU. So let's see if we can learn the valvetronic motor. Before I do that, I'm just going to see what other codes we've got in here. This is like a body control module and it's got all sorts going on in here. So I reckon this is just a case of resetting the codes and that should be fine. I think a lot of these codes are probably from the ECU getting corroded. What was that? JBE. This is the junction box electronics. I think that's like the main body control unit. Just all sorts of codes in here. Anyway, do I want to exit? Yes. Service. Powertrain. Probably just telling the car when stuff was last serviced, but engine electronics sounds promising. Adjustment, delete adaptions. Here we go, learning valvetronic limit positions. Found it, it does the job, this is brilliant. Well happy with that. See, each time after repair work's been carried out in the valvetronic system, the limit positions on the adjusting mechanism must be relearned for minimum and maximum lift. During the adaptation process, the eccentric shaft is twisted slowly in the direction of minimum lift until a point of mechanical resistance is reached. The position at the mechanical lift position is stored. The same procedure applies to the maximum lift position. Yes. Yes, it does. Come on. Function finished. Is that it? Easy. We now have no ABS lights on the dash currently, although obviously we haven't driven the car, so we don't know how long it's going to be until they come back on. But we know that the code is the front right wheel speed sensor, so we can get one of those ordered. Of course, it might not be the sensor. As with the back, it might be the ring. I'm assuming there is a ring on the front drive shaft. I don't know for sure. And we've reset the valvetronic motor. So let's get out the car. So we go, there is the Foxwell NT530 and it has done exactly what I purchased it to do. Reset the valvetronic motor and clear and read the ABS codes. So I now have a good idea of where to go to fix that ABS light coming on. And also there is a little bonus that we get out of the Foxwell. So if we go into advanced functions here, fast forwarding, and then into customization, audible warning, and then set acoustic alarm to exit the alert state to active, and same for acoustic alarm enters the alert state to active. Hit OK. Coding in progress. Fast forward through this bit because all these loading screens do take a long time with the Foxwell. I do have to say that. Okay. Okay, let's turn that off and I'll show you what that's done. Are you ready? So we're going to lock the car. So we got a beep when we unlock. Why haven't we got one when we lock? So this is me showing you my experience as I experienced it. Not trying to gloss this up in any way, shape or form. So just checking the status, and I looked back at the video that I just did and saw that the alarm enters the alert state actually failed. Put the clip back on screen now. So I've gone back in and we'll try again. I don't know why it failed. I wonder, maybe I didn't have the ignition on, but for whatever reason it did the coding successfully for the coming out of anti-theft state. So let's just run this again and it should work. Right, successful that time. So let's get out the car again. I'll just do this bit first. So turn ignition off. So last time the ignition already was off, so I didn't do anything. But this time it was on. So now I wait the 10 seconds, fast forward us through that. Turn the ignition back on. Okay, and come out of that. I'm not going to lie, after that second attempt it still didn't work, so I went back in again to try again. It would seem that every time I tried again, if it had beeped when locking the car before, it wouldn't beep when unlocking the car, and then when I tried again it would beep when locking the car and it wouldn't beep when locking the car. So I went back in and I just reset it so it made no noises whatsoever, and then tried again, and this is the result. Sweet. So now when I park my car up at work or Tesco's or wherever, it's going to sound like I've got a real fancy alarm system. All through the Foxwell. I think that's really good. So when I was looking at what diagnostic machine to buy, I, like you do, watch a lot of other YouTubers, and I, like you have seen a lot of YouTubers selling Carlys and ABD11 code readers, that kind of stuff. So I did a bit of looking into those, and I realised, which I don't think a YouTuber's ever really said before, that for a lot of these things you've got to get a subscription. So for the Carly I looked at quite seriously, and I was close to just buying it. It was going to cost like 80 quid a year to get the full functionality from it, and I didn't really fancy that. I just want to pay for something once and then have it. Why can't that be a thing anymore? The Foxwell cost £160, so that's like 2 years worth of Carly, but I've now got the Foxwell forever. It's a BMW specialised tool, as is the Carly, but I'm not sure the Carly or the ABD11 even could have reset the valvetronic motor. So I think I've spent less as opposed to having the Carly for a number of years, and I've got more from what I purchased. Good news all around, really. A bit of an unexpected video there, but as I was sat there working my way through the code reader, I realised this is taking quite a long time. If I try and work this into the wrapping video, it's going to make the wrapping video like an hour and a half or something ridiculous. So I thought, let's just do a separate video. There's probably people out there like I was trying to research diagnostic machines and find the right one for them, and a video like this would have been quite helpful for me. Hopefully it's helpful for you. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video when we get back to the wrapping.